Welcome to the War Room, ladies and gentlemen. This is Objectively Wrong, presented by the Next Men Up. As always, I am John. That is Abtin.
Excuse me? It's Mr. Abtin.
Mr. Abtin. We are entering the home stretch towards the NFL draft. We are 9 days away from the first round, and we are 5 seconds away from me starting the timer. Now that it started. Today we're gonna have a little bit of fun. We're gonna play a game today. Basically, we're just gonna play a big old game. Abtin and I are going to draft as if we are running the show here, as if we were running each of these 32 teams. We are going to alternate picks. We've not chosen the order yet. We're gonna do that live for you guys as well.
Live and on air from Las Vegas.
Neither one of us is there. So we would have loved to have been, but money. So we're gonna choose the order. A couple rules here. We will be permitted to trade in this mock draft. However, like with any trade, Abtin and I will have to agree on the trade. If the trade is we're going to separate it between odds and evens. One of us is going to do odds, one of us is going to do evens. If an even team wants to trade up with another even team, though, let's say you're the even team picker, I will take control in that negotiation of the other team you want to trade with.
And the third and slightly more confusing rule is...
It's probably less confusing.
Yeah, sure. There are multiple teams in this.
With multiple ones.
With multiple first-round picks. And as it so happens, they probably have multiple odds and evens. We're not going to do that. We're not going to split up our GM brains.
No, if you're picking the Jets pick, 4 and 9?
Yeah. So that means the Jets will only be picked by the even GM, even if their pick is...
I'm sorry, they're 4 and 10. They're still both even.
Okay. Houston is
Chiefs.
3 and 13.
Yeah. 3 and 13 is still odd. Chiefs is 29 and 30. Whoever picks 29 will also pick 30.
Yeah.
If you're picking for one team's pick, you'll make the other team's pick as well. Philadelphia is another good example for this. What did Oz just do?
He just barked like crazy.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Philadelphia picks 15 and 18. If you got 15 for Philly, you'll pick 18 for 15. Abtin has left the room.
I'm back.
What was that?
Me closing the door.
Is he good?
Oh, yeah, he's fine.
Cool. So that's how we'll do it today. Unfortunately, we don't have the technological manpower to show you guys the board as we do it. We could use that for Kevin this week. We've given Kevin the next couple of weeks off because of the nature of the next 3 episodes. We've got this episode, which we'll bring a couple bits of news, but not a whole lot today. We got this episode. We're gonna have some fun. Next week's episode, which really our entire year crescendos upon that episode, and then due to time constraints, the episode after the first round of the draft, considering the turnaround that will have to entail, Kevin will not be available for that episode either. Time is of the essence in that respect. So
all Kevin will do today is basically write the trade details that there's a trade.
Not even that. I think what we should put Kevin in charge of there is, because we have to go back into it later anyway. I think, if I say, for example, pick number 1, Jacksonville Jaguars select blankety blankety blank. As we're talking about that pick, put him in Kevin. We could put the names in Kevin. Fine. I think it makes sense. Fine. From an aesthetic perspective. Fine. If you're watching on YouTube, I can barely hear that, but I can enough. So from an aesthetic perspective, we will probably put that there, and you guys can take a look at that. It'll help you guide it. As far as news goes, a couple of corners made some moves, and we're going to talk about one of them with one sentence, and the other one I'm going to laugh at.
All right.
Let's
start with the first sentence.
Stephon Gilmore is a Colt. Moving on.
2 years and $23 million. Good for him.
I didn't even know it was that number. That's crazy.
He's making 11.5 this year. and there's a total guarantees of 14 million.
Cool. How much is Denzel Ward making?
Well, see that is a little less.
Now, he just got a little bit more than Gilmore.
Yeah.
5 years.
Denzel Ward is making 5 years, $100.5 million.
Jalen Ramsey is owed a fruit basket.
Yeah.
And probably $20 million. That's wild. What Jalen Ramsey's contract has done to the fabric of the cornerback market.
You can say the same thing about Christian Kirk's contract to the wide receiver.
Christian Kirk has changed the game forever.
The best part about Denzel Ward's contract, 71.25 guaranteed.
Sick. Absolutely sick. Absolutely sick.
He is 24 years old. What are we doing with our lives?
The Browns have given out $300 million plus of guaranteed cash to Denzel Ward and Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
That's wild. That's a lot of guaranteed money to a quarterback with question marks and a corner. That's
it's
something.
Solid. Yeah.
He's a good corner. No. He's a great corner. I mean, if we're going to talk about Denzel Ward as being a top 5, top 6, top 7 corner, I'll do it. Easy. But I'm also still not a big fan of the $20 million a year corner. The market has changed, clearly. And that's the way it is. So there you go. Kept them happy, I guess. I guess you had to pay a little bit more to keep somebody in Cleveland. But
Baker's going to do it for free.
Baker Mayfield said something funny the other day during, I think it was a podcast. He said, "How would you feel if I just went to your cubicle and started booing you?" Honestly,
the whole Seinfeld joke.
I'd laugh though. Honestly, what would you do?
For an autograph.
Would you really?
Yeah, I would want to.
Let me ask you a question. If you're sitting in a cubicle, neither you or I work in a cubicle.
No.
But if you were, let's say we worked in a cubicle in a major office building. Okay. It means a cubicle means there's a lot of people in each spot.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people in the room. If one person in that room had been singled out and was just getting booed mercilessly by Baker Mayfield, okay, a person that I think you are taller than,
yeah,
who would?
But not taller than Sam Howell.
Please. And the height doesn't mean anything, but I just think it's funny to boo up at somebody. But it's just a funny image to me as a short person. If you if I were being booed, if I'm sitting at my table being booed by sitting at my desk being booed by Baker Mayfield, I might just be like, "Why are you here? How'd you get
I would first ask for the autograph and then be like, "Okay, how can I help you?"
What's good? I just made partner. What are you talking about?
What's one quarterback what's one starting quarterback in this league that you would not accept being booed by?
I can accept being booed by anybody. I don't give a crap.
I think it's Kirk Cousins.
What do you mean not accept? No, if Kirk Cousins booed me, really? You? Really? Sam Darnold.
God, yeah.
Sam Darnold. If Sam Darnold walked into my apartment right now and just started booing me while we're doing this podcast, which that's fine. I agree. Boo me. And if you were to walk into this room and be like, boo, boo, be like, A, how'd you get in here? And B, really? You? Really?
What? Was Cam Newton busy?
Yeah, boo me.
Was Jimmy busy?
You got me, you elite quarterback, you. Anyway.
Oh, you're like, oh, is there a ghost in here?
I'm seeing him. Let's play our game.
Let's have some fun.
I'm excited.
Drum roll, please.
I've been excited. Well, if I do that, it'll vibrate the table and the mic will sound funny. This will be fun. This is going to be a lot of fun. We're very excited. This could be very stupid. It can go completely off the rails. Abtin's drinking. I should have been. Make sure that label is not on camera. Cool. We are sponsored by nobody. If a label pops up, just remember they're not a sponsor. Perfect. Yeah, drink it like the opposite of a car commercial. Drink it like the opposite of a country music video.
What about my unsweetened tea?
Unsweetened tea by you're covering half of it.
My hand only covers half.
We're just fans of the things we indulge in. We're not sponsored by any of them. We would love to be. Please contact us. Anyway, let's begin. Now, step one is flipping heads or tails. Now, Abtin, as you are as you don't have a first round pick, considering your team does not have a first round pick, okay, I'm going to consider you the away team.
Okay.
So you get to call the coin toss.
Okay.
So what would you? I'll act as like the official. I'll do the timing and whatnot. So I actually need a second stopwatch for this, or actually I'll do a timer for that. So let's do coin flip.
Okay.
And Abtin, call it now.
Heads.
It is tails.
So you get choice with what you want.
I would like to select odds exclusively because I want to pick for Philly. Okay.
All right. You are on the clock, John.
The Jacksonville Jaguars are on the clock.
John BAALKE is on the clock.
Yeah. So here's where the problem becomes, and we're gonna set it. I'm gonna do 2 minutes per pick.
Okay.
2 minutes per pick, and I'm gonna put my start timer now. I promise, unless you want to run a timer for me, you can run it for me. I'll run it for you. If you
I don't think it's that important.
It's not important at all.
Mm-hmm.
So I will begin the start timer now, and I will end it now. My choice is No.
We have to go to commercial break.
Okay. Do I need to start it again?
Yeah, okay, start the timer. We're on commercial break.
Great.
Are you happy with your car? We are currently running a sponsorship opportunity for any car dealership to give us money to like their cars.
I'm picking Aiden Hutchinson. Aiden Hutchinson. I'm not even going to explain it.
Well, I got to boo you while you walk onto the stage.
Yeah, go ahead. With the first pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, the Jacksonville Jaguars select Aiden Hutchinson.
Yeah!
Yeah, Jacksonville fans go crazy.
It's not Trayvon Walker.
If we've heard plenty. Trent BAALKE might do it.
Yeah, Trent BAALKE really likes that.
We're not doing it.
We are smarter.
Now I'm curious. We could do this as a little anecdotal thing. We have to do this. We don't have to do this for every pick.
Mm-hmm.
Would you have made the selection to pick one?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Cool. What hard hitting analysis we have to do.
All right. The Detroit Lions are on the clock. I am on the clock.
I am starting the timer now.
I am currently waiting for my phone to ring, John.
You would like a trade?
I would like a trade out.
Interesting. Are you calling anybody or are you just waiting?
I'm going to spend the first minute waiting.
Interesting.
Yeah. And I'm not going to use an even team to trade up. I'm going to try to get it from an odd team. Let's just
now I'm going to play a little bit of Rappaport here. Detroit, what are you waiting for? What are you thinking? Are you weighing a quarterback here if you don't move, or are you looking for a QB needy team?
Wait, do you want me to actually speak?
Yeah, why not?
Okay, so who am I? Am I Ian Rappaport or am I?
No, you're Detroit. You're Detroit.
I'm a Detroit.
I'm somebody getting a report. Let
me text on my phone.
You've got a minute 15.
Okay. Detroit Lions really like Malik Willis, but maybe some team is open to trading up for him.
You're doing the Adrian Wojnarowski approach of just tipping every draft pick in the world. You're doing the Albert Breer.
All right. Does anyone call me? Is any odd team calling me for this pick?
If you're taking Malik, I'm interesting. Is an odd team going to call?
You should pause the clock while you think about this, right?
I'm going to pause it for now. I'll pause it briefly. Is an odd team calling? Is Detroit content with their decision in case a call doesn't make? Are they actively shopping it, or are they only listening for? Are they only choosing to listen to offers?
Listen, in 15 seconds, I'm going to call Carolina.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Call Carolina.
All right.
I'll act as Carolina. How are you, Detroit?
Hello, Carolina.
What you thinking?
I'm thinking that let's all be honest here. I'm talking to the GM, right?
Sure.
You can look across that table, see your head coach, and think he's not going to be here that long. But maybe your ownership really wants a quarterback. We all know he really wants a quarterback. He brought back Cam Newton. Mm-hmm. So let's make a deal before you lose that quarterback.
Okay. Well, who else am I losing that quarterback to? Do you have other offers?
Oh, yeah.
This is where you say yes, by the way.
Listen, New Orleans didn't get those 2 first-round picks for nothing, and I heard Seattle is interested if the price is right.
That's true. And they're pick 9. It's not much to move up.
Yeah. So let's
Okay.
make a deal before you're forced to pick the third offensive tackle.
Okay. I'm Carolina. I know I'm in a different spot. I'll give you a 1, and I'll give you a 1, my 2, and future considerations, future draft capital. We're not going to flesh out every trade today. It'd be insane to do all that. A 1, a 2, and future considerations.
What pick is Carolina in the second round?
Probably also in the 6-7 range. I hope they have.
This is important because I think Detroit has like sizable like mid-round actual picks.
Probably. But the future consideration is really the one you're looking at. You're looking at the future 1 that I'm probably giving you. The future 1 is really they actually don't have a 2.
Detroit Lions don't have a 2?
The Panthers don't have a 2 or a 3.
All right, so you gotta change your offer. Give me something better.
Oh, okay. I got to give you a 1. I know I have to give you my 1. Do I have a player I could give you? Oh, not really. I mean, short of like Jeremy Chin, I can't give you anybody. I'm not giving you Jeremy Chin. That's for damn sure.
So then, you got to give me the next.
Oh, Panthers are in really bad shape here.
Yeah, I got to give me the next 2 years of 2s, maybe.
I got to give you 2 years in a row of 2. I got to give you a 1 this year, a 1 and a 2 next year, and a 2 the following year. That's what I would have to do.
I would run with that if I was Detroit.
If you're Detroit,
yeah. I get the 6th pick.
Here's my Carolina offer, and you can counter it. Here's my Carolina offer.
Okay.
This is based on the points and the desperation that Carolina is now facing. I'll give you a 1. I'll give you my 1 this year. So you're moving down 4 picks.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give you a 1 next year and a 2 the following year.
So a 2 in 2024? Is that what's
correct? Correct.
Hey, John. Oh, sorry. I just was using a random name. It's like, hey, Jacob, what was Seattle's offer again? Oh, they're going to give me a 2 next year too? All right, Carolina, listen, I got to get a 2 next year as well. If you want to make, I got to get that too.
I can give you a 2 next year. And I'll throw in a 3 in 2024.
So it's the 6th pick this year, first round pick next year, a second round pick next year, and a 2024 3.
Yeah, the 3 may be something different, but yeah, it would be something. It's not. It's going to be minimal capital in 2024 to keep myself above water.
Let's ship it. I like the quarterbacks better next year, anyways. Thank you, very much, Carolina. Best of luck.
Go ahead, Carolina. You are now Carolina, and you have 30 seconds. Who's your pick?
Oh, my pick 6? Yeah, I am pick 6.
You're pick 6, but you're also pick 2. You are still Carolina at pick 2. Who's your pick?
Kenny Pickett.
You're taking Kenny Pickett at 2. Interesting. First surprise. That would be something that you and I on the night would be like, what are they doing?
Yeah. Oh, wait. I'm sorry. This is not a predictive mock. This is what I would do. That's right.
Yes.
What I would do. I think I'd still go Pickett.
I might too.
Yeah.
I like Pickett a lot. All right, Pickett. Pickett at 2 for Carolina and not Detroit. Very interesting. Now, for those that we're doing this on the fly with capital, we don't have all the charts in front of us. The capital might be completely out of whack in the future, but quarterback trades are notoriously crazy.
Although there have been plenty of smoke in the air that the charts are completely off this year.
It's very likely. The point totals of picks this year, it seems like everybody's seen that matrix of point totals allocated to different picks in a draft. This year, it appears as if those numbers are a little different. For the first time in a long time, it appears those numbers are very different. All right, let's go to pick number 3.
And please, take your time. I need to fix the Google Drive.
I will likely have to take my time because I am Houston. Houston has a tough choice here. Houston would like to get out of here.
Mm-hmm.
But I do like some players here. However, Pickett's last name does not have a 1 in it.
I changed it. It's got a 1 in it because he's QB1 in the draft now.
Houston, I'm thinking Houston. Oof. This is tough. Do I want to trade or do I want to stay?
You start your clock.
Oh, yeah, I start my clock.
Okay.
Yeah, I got 1:20 left.
So while you think about that, for just a little rundown, Hutchinson went pick 1. Carolina moved up to draft Kenny Pickett as a quarterback. Even though Pickett's not our number 1 quarterback on the board, we do like the fit in Carolina more than throwing Matt Corral or Malik Willis into that mess.
All right. I'm curious if any even-numbered team would like to hop in front of the 2 New Yorks here. Because if not, Houston does have a selection.
Atlanta's going to give you a phone call.
What does Atlanta think? What's Atlanta asking for? What are they offering to me?
Atlanta wants to do a little bit of an exchange of first-round picks. They like some wide receivers here and are afraid the Jets are going to go get them.
Interesting. They want to go wide out at 3, okay?
They're worried that their number 1 wideout will be taken before them, but they're also know that they are in a rebuild and aren't going to offer too much.
Okay.
So they want to know how much it's going to cost for them to move up. They're coming in with an offer of a first-round pick and a second-round pick next year. They're very unwilling to move up, but they will.
So wait, it's a swap of 1s, and my only net is a 2 next year.
Yep.
I hang up. I don't have a counter.
All right.
My selection is Ahmad Gardner out of Cincinnati. Give me the sauce. Atlanta gets undressed in that. I just don't have I can't make a deal when you want to move up 5 spots and only net me a 2. Can't do it.
Listen, the way I see it as Atlanta's GM is, yes, I have a number 1 wide receiver on my board, but how far off is that drop off? And I'm a rebuilding team. I don't want to give up capital right now.
Atlanta's in a bizarre spot.
Yeah.
They're not in a spot to have to take a quarterback because they do have a 2-year lottery ticket on Mariota. So there's no reason to have to do this. I think Atlanta's going to be one of the hardest teams to pick this year because they could pick anything.
Listen, that Calvin Ridley trade will happen, even if it's delayed a year.
Yeah. Yes, it will. It will still happen.
Mm-hmm. Next, the New York Jets are on the clock, and they're pissed off that Ahmad Gardner just went.
That's why Houston did it.
Yep.
That's why Houston was fielding calls, but Houston was willing to do it anyway. They look at their O-line and they think it wasn't as bad last year as advertised. They have a left tackle. I need a secondary. I lost Justin Reed, lost my best defensive backs. I need more.
The Jets aren't interested. Right now, they're deciding with their 2 minutes.
Your clock's on with the Jets, by the way.
Whether or not they're going to take the top tackle, which, if I was them, it'd be Ikem Ekwonu.
Sure.
Or are they going to take Trayvon Walker / Thibodeau? And I think the Jets are going to realize, listen, we haven't had any success in quarterback in a long time. And if this one's going to work out, which we don't think he will, but if this one's going to work out, he needs an offensive line. We're already very interested. We've tried very hard to get wide receivers this offseason. We've tried for DK Metcalf. We've tried for Tyreek Hill.
A.J. Brown, too.
Yeah, but we have pick 10. We're not going to be able to get an offensive tackle worthy of pick 10 at pick 10.
Right.
But we will be able to get a wide receiver that will have legitimate success in the NFL at pick 10. So I'm going to draft Ikem Ekwonu.
Okay. You only needed 1 minute and 1 second to do it. I think it's a good pick. Now I am the New York Giants.
What was the college? North Carolina State? Right?
North Carolina State, yes.
Yeah. The New York Giants are on the clock.
This is a weirdly easy pick.
Okay.
Because of who is now in between my 2 picks.
Mm-hmm.
Detroit being in between my 2 picks means I can take my O-lineman at 7.
Yes.
Unless Detroit trades.
Yes.
Now, am I sweating about Detroit trading? Maybe. They could. They easily could. No question they could. But Detroit's already done it, and they're not very good.
Nope.
I think I have a gut feeling I think I know what Detroit's going to think about at number 6. Now, this is what we would do draft.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way what I think could have happened here logistically will happen for either of you at 6, either of us at 6, because we would not value this player at 6. But I think it's possible, and that player would be Drake London. I think that could happen in this weird vein. But I'm thinking maybe I'm going to turn Discord off because that's annoying. I'm thinking here I'm going to select someone that has just been up and down draft boards every day to next Saturday. I'm going to select Kayvon Thibodeau at 5.
You know, I don't hate the pick.
I'm going to take Thibodeau at 5. A lot of people think you're going to take Evan Neal at 5 because you need an O-lineman, and they do.
But in this situation...
But Detroit doesn't.
Yeah.
And he might be there at 7. And if he is at 7, I'm going to sprint that card up there. I'm barely even going to start the timer. But Thibodeau at 5. If I'm New York and I'm getting a trade call here to get in front of Detroit, I might answer, but I probably won't. I would probably hold here and get 2 players that are both likely top 10 talents. Let's not forget, a year ago today, any 2022 mock draft had Kayvon Thibodeau in the top 2.
Yeah. If you can fix
it was him and Spencer Rattler, and Rattler didn't come. But
we watched the tape and we noticed that Oregon's defensive coordinator was out of his mind.
Using him wrong.
Yeah, using him completely wrong. And we don't think the motivation issues are that significant anymore. We think it might actually be the fact that he was like, what the hell am I doing
incorrectly
right now?
utilized.
Yeah. So yeah, I like the pick. I'm actually happy with the pick. I would not have picked him with Detroit.
Okay.
Actually, no. I would have picked him at Detroit.
Detroit would have to weigh him at 6.
Yeah.
That's why at number 5 as New York, I have to do it. Because I know he's not there. I know who's more likely to be there at 7, Neal or Thibodeau. The answer is Neal. Considering this current foundation, the answer is Neal. So with Detroit's pick, you already made the pick.
Yeah. So,
I didn't even start your timer yet.
Yeah. So the Giants are picking Thibodeau. Detroit's on the clock. Would they have gone with Thibodeau if he was there? There have been reporting that Thibodeau isn't seen as a culture fit in Detroit with their head coach, Mr. Kneecap Biter.
Yep.
If I was a GM and if my head coach told me that, off the board. If the player is not going to be like do
you hear that?
Not really.
All right, good. Let's just keep going. Every so often, it's an intercom in my apartment. I don't know why it does that.
All right.
Every so often, it'll stop within like half a minute.
Okay. Count me back in.
Why don't we just wait for that to stop?
Okay.
It's almost done. Okay, 3, 2.
If I was a GM Detroit and my head coach told me that he doesn't think he can work with this player, then he's off the board. Because why am I spending a top 10 pick on a player my head coach doesn't believe will fit the culture when I can get a similarly ranked edge rusher? And that just so happened to happen here too. I have the Detroit Lions selecting Trayvon Walker, the biggest riser in the NFL draft.
He's a riser, so much so that Peter Schrager in a mock draft today, April 19th, has him going number 1 overall. We don't agree, but
like in real life,
it's happening. It's very possible that our predictive mock a week from now, it may say that. It's possible.
Trayvon Walker has a lot of traits to build on, a lot of like potential. Detroit has the ability to wait for that potential to hit. That's actually a benefit for them because the player will be developing on his curve as Detroit becomes more competitive.
Right.
I think this is legitimately. I think Trayvon Walker's talent level isn't a top 10 pick, but he could totally play like that in the NFL. We're going to find out. The Giants are on the clock again.
By the way, just as a side note here, in the event that's correct. In the event that the Jacksonville Jaguars select Trayvon Walker, I don't think Detroit is trading it too.
No, Detroit will take Aiden Hutchinson.
They take Hutchinson and we move on. Like, it's just not Detroit will Reggie Bush that pick into oblivion when the Texans took Mario Williams over Bush. Now, what's funny about that pick is everyone lauds that as like one of the weirdest occurrences because everyone thought Bush was going 1. But looking back, Williams had the better NFL career. So Houston might have known something that everybody else didn't. It's very possible that it had nothing to do with Reggie Bush, like, and the character thing that was going on, and more about the fact that Mario Williams was actually a really good pass rusher. So I said it last time. Evan Neal is pick number 7 for the Giants. That's the right play, considering what has now transpired in this draft. I have to go get my lineman. He's there. Let's do it. It's that simple. Let's do it. How do you know I'm not taking him at 9?
If you are, you're making a mistake.
You might make a mistake at 10.
All right. So
Abtin is filled in pick number 8 already, so I don't need a timer for that one.
So Atlanta, they called Houston. They said, listen, we're a little bit scared about the Jets, the Giants, and Detroit taking wide receivers. But they said, we're not willing to give up that much. And in the end, they were proven right. Listen, on draft day, this pick might be Drake London. I don't value Drake London as the number 1 wideout.
Neither of us do.
I have the Atlanta Falcons selecting Garrett Wilson from Ohio State. Wide receiver. Fills a massive need, and he's a fantastic player. Moving on. Seattle is on the clock.
Okay, so Seattle is on the clock here, and I don't think Seattle is going to think twice here.
Okay.
Fortunately for Seattle, if I'm Seattle in this situation, I don't know if I value Malik Willis as a top 10 quarterback.
I don't.
I probably don't either, but he's got really good traits, and Seattle needs one. Now,
well, if you were the GM, would you pick Malik Willis here? This is what we would do, John. Not what Seattle would do.
Here's the thing. I'm Seattle. I need a lot of things. And if I'm Seattle, I look at my team and I think, okay, how ready? That alarm does not stop.
No.
Aiden Hutchinson is gone. Icky is gone. Neal's gone. The 4th guy on most people's big boards is still there. And he's a very Pete Carroll-esque player. The problem with him is I have Jamal Adams.
Yeah.
So I don't have a spot for Kyle Hamilton, who I would love to take here at 9 if I'm Seattle. I think my pick, it's really not an easy pick at all. It's not an easy pick even a little bit. If it were me, I would be taking my best quarterback in this draft. Then I would be taking Matt Corral.
All right, you heard it here, folks. Matt Corral is a top 10 quarterback.
Yeah, I don't think Corral is a top 10 player. It's just not what I would do necessarily. But I think if I am Seattle, I'm Seattle. I have to operate as Seattle. If it were me, Seattle would not be in the state that it's in, but it is. So I have to operate that way. If I'm looking at Seattle, I'm thinking, well, I need a quarterback, and I kind of need a million things, then I got to do it this way. Willis could be the pick. I'm sitting there talking to my coaches and whatnot, trying to figure out who the quarterback is. So this is a pick that I end up looking at Pete Carroll and saying, hey, do you want a guy who just switches the A and the O in your name to play quarterback for you? And I ask him, do you want Willis or do you want Corral? In this imaginary world that I'm concocting, he says Corral. What the hell?
Oh, was that your 2 minutes up?
That was my actual timer.
Yeah,
it actually went off. I made the Corral pick. I just didn't stop it. Matt Corral at 9.
In our predictive mock, this pick
probably won't look like this.
Happen. Yeah,
that probably won't look like this.
But we are the GMs.
No.
As the GM, the New York Jets need a wide receiver.
I'm going to start the timer, but even though we already wrote the team, the player.
The New York Jets also, just like me, don't value Drake London in the top 3 wide receivers. But they do value a wide receiver who would have been our number 1 wide receiver if he did not get injured. Jamison Williams out of Alabama is now a New York Jet.
Yeah, Jets are pretty happy with this one. Jets have had themselves a decent draft so far. Ike Ekwonu and Jameson Williams. If not for an injury, Williams would have been the top receiver. This is a fun draft for the Jets. I got to give it up for both the Giants and the Jets in this. They've actually made good picks here. And by they, I mean us. We are so smart. The next pick is the Washington football team. And if I am Washington, I am calling everyone.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also going to call my super of this building to remove all the alarms out of our building, out of our rooms, out of our apartments. This is ridiculous that it's now gone off this many times. It's
all right. Well,
so Washington's got a few questions they have to ask themselves first. Quarterback? No. Running back? No. Wide receiver? Probably not. Defensive line? Probably not. Linebacker? Maybe, but not here. Secondary? Do I need Stingley? Do I need Hamilton? Like, what do I do here? I know what my gut says.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm staying here, if I'm still here, I know who I'm picking. If I am manipulating Washington, but I'm gonna call.
Can you call the Chargers for me?
Do the Chargers want to? Do the Chargers want to come up?
Yeah.
What's up, LA? What you got for me?
I want to move up to pick 11. I'll give you 17 this year. I'll give you a 2 this year. And I'll give you a we can work out next year's, but I'm offering you a 3 next year to start.
If you give me a 2 next year, I could probably pull it off.
Then I think
I'll give you a 5 this year to offset the net.
We'll take it.
Done. Okay, Chargers go up to 11.
Do I get to pick for that?
You can choose for the Chargers now. What are you thinking, Chargers? I get to decide your pick.
All right.
But what are you thinking, Chargers?
Playing the AFC West.
Oh God.
The AFC West is crazy.
Are you gonna say who I'm thinking you're gonna say?
They've brought in Khalil Mack. They've brought in Joey Bosa.
I think I know exactly who you're gonna say.
The Chargers want more.
Uh-huh.
They want to compete not only in the AFC West, they want to compete in the entirety of the NFL.
Absolutely.
They don't want it's all to come down to one game, one overtime.
100%.
Do we kick or do we not? You know who can fix that? The best defensive tackle in this draft.
You're talking about the big man?
I'm talking about Jordan Davis.
The big man that runs like a gazelle?
And I'm talking about getting ahead of Minnesota.
I agree.
Baltimore, Philly, New Orleans.
Washington has no need for Jordan Davis. They can run away and make this pick and still probably make a good pick at 17. If I am the LA Chargers moving from 17 to 11, my selection is Jordan Davis. No questions asked. Jordan Davis. What a good trade. Great trade.
It was a 2 this year also, right?
Correct. 1 and a 2 this year and a next year 2 with offsetting a 5 or 7, whatever, late round offsetting. So I net gain 2. I net gain 1 pick premium, and I premium up on a pick next year by 3 rounds.
All right, let me fix that up. Minnesota is now on the clock and very pissed off.
Yeah. By the way, guys, we're just throwing trades together within 10 seconds.
Oh, yeah.
Our values are what they are right now. The values aren't perfect. We know the values on these are probably a nightmare. There's somebody listening to be like, who would trade like that? Washington traded 3 picks to go up and get RG3. Anybody will trade anything. Nuke went for a 2. Anything can happen. I think Marcus Davenport went for an extra 1. This doesn't matter. Everything happens. All right, Minnesota, pick it at 12. I am starting your timer.
I am currently looking at my depth chart because I have an idea, but I want to see if it's right.
Interesting.
So give me a little rundown of the last couple of picks while I look at this depth chart.
So you've just seen Atlanta go receiver, address a major need. You've seen Seattle go quarterback. That is Drew Lock-esque. Mm-hmm. So it's not crazy to deviate, but he might be better. And you've got Jameson Williams at wide receiver. The Jets have wanted a wide receiver for a little bit now, but they, all they could afford last year was Corey Davis. And now you got Jordan Davis to the Chargers, which so far, I got to tell you, I think is the value pick of the round. I think that's the value pick of the round. I think the worst value pick of the round so far is probably Carolina taking pick it at 2, but they're desperate. They have to do it. So, oh God. Okay. Abtin has made his selection.
The Minnesota Vikings have selected Derek Stingley Jr., corner out of LSU. I was between Kyle Hamilton or Derek Stingley. Harrison Smith's still on the Vikings. Stingley he's going to walk in into the Vikings locker room and see Cameron Dantzler and Patrick Peterson.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to walk in and instantly be the number one guy there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So Houston's up next, John. You've already made one pick, Ahmad Gardner. You've taken a corner. You've seen You've seen Derek Stingley just come off the board. You're Houston. What are you doing?
Yeah, so here's the problem if I'm Houston. If I'm Houston here, I'm going to double check their depth chart. But I know who I want to do here. And I could trade this. I don't really think I need to, though. I think Houston is in the business of trying to add. They're a rebuilding team, but there's not a whole lot you can kick down the road. A wide receiver makes sense here. Wide receiver makes a lot of sense here. But you know what else makes sense is a safety. And I like the safeties here in the top end. They just added Steven Nelson, a corner. So they've already gone a little bit of a step toward building their team. But I think Ahmad Gardner would render that signing a little bit moot. Let's go with the big man. I think my selection here for Houston at 13 is Drake London. I think that's my pick. I think Drake London's the pick here. I'm really weighing Kyle Hamilton, but I went corner. Corner safety doesn't really need a whole lot of addressing at once. I think I got to go Drake London. I need a receiver. I got to find out if Davis Mills actually is any good. Brandon Cooks had a great year, but I don't have anyone else to play with him. I need a running mate. London is kind of my best option right now, so I'm going to go London. And I'm not too unhappy about it if I'm Houston at all. I'm actually pretty happy. And I can't take Olave because it's basically just Cooks again. Like I need a second receiver.
And Cooks just got his brand new contract.
And Cooks just got paid. So
you take Drake London, USC, build around Davis Mills.
Sure. And you know who I know is pretty unhappy with that pick, a little bit at least, is Baltimore.
Yeah.
Baltimore can't be thrilled with that because Baltimore's definitely weighing a receiver. They're not definitely – God, I have to remember to turn that off. They're not definitely doing it, but they could absolutely go wide receiver. There's no way to say that Baltimore would definitely not. What I'm noticing recently, the Eagles got shut out of being able to add a marquee receiver in free agency. The Ravens, what did they just do? They just paid Sammy Watkins or something.
No, that was the Green Bay Packers.
Green Bay paid Sammy Watkins. They had Sammy and they lost him. The teams with the quarterbacks without the great arms are struggling to get receivers to sign with them. The Eagles can't seem to get one because people don't trust. I guess they don't trust Jalen Hurts to get them the ball. So these teams have to draft their receivers and give them no choice. That's how it has to go.
Now, Baltimore's on the clock. Baltimore has a player they will take here.
Okay.
But they're also going to wait. They're going to see if anyone moves up. And I want to see, does Kansas City want to make a blockbuster trade? It is pick 29 and pick 30. You do have the choice.
Yeah, you'd have to lose both.
Yeah.
You'd have to lose both. But you wouldn't have to lose both, but you probably would.
They will lose both in this trade.
Yeah. If I'm Kansas City here,
you go get Olave before Philly.
I'm thinking about it. I am thinking about it. It's a good idea.
Mm.
And I'm the Chiefs.
Yeah.
My team's already great. Do I need a multitude of picks? Probably not.
You just lost Tyreek Hill in an AFC West that brought in Devontae Adams. You have an absolutely fantastic quarterback, but your best wide receiver is it Martez Valdez-Scantling right now?
I would rather give you a one next year along with one of these ones because I have an idea of what I want to do with the other pick. And Kansas City doesn't pick early enough in the 2, if at all, to do what I want to do with it.
Well, make me the offer. Kansas City is called.
Kansas City. I'm going to give Kansas City because I still want to make the pick, I'm going to offer 30. Kansas City makes an offer of pick number 30, a 1 next year, and a 3 next year. You stay in the round, you net gain a 1 and a 3 a season from now.
I just saw what did you get for Tyreek Hill? What did Kansas City get for Tyreek Hill? Kansas City, by the way, has a crazy amount of picks in the middle rounds. You should expect to see Kansas City trade in this draft. They will trade.
They have 2 2s. All right, fine. I'll give you one of the 2s. I got 2 1s, 2 2s, and 2 3s. That was the timer for the actual pick, but we're cutting a trade. As we know, the NFL does that all the time. 2 1s, 2 2s, 2 3s. I'll give you one of those. I'll give you pick 30 and pick. I'll give you pick 30 and pick 50. And I'll give you 30, 50, 103, and my 2 next year. If I'm giving you 3 rounds of picks, I can't give you a 1 next year. No way. Can't do it. If you want the 1 next year, I will give you a 1 and a 3 this year and a 1 next year.
Baltimore counters, but first of all, you're not picking ahead of us twice. We're getting pick 29 in this trade. Not pick if we're only getting one of the first round picks, we're getting the first one. Baltimore will take pick 29. They will take a second round this year, a second round next year, and they're going to ask for the third round that you got from Miami in 2024.
So 1 this year. So my 29, 29, one of my 2s, either or. They're only 12 picks apart. Doesn't matter to me. One of my 3s this year, which are only 9 picks apart. And then a future 3 for Miami.
Yeah.
Done.
So let's type that up, make sure we got it right.
Great.
Say it again for me.
It is, I just changed the tab. It is, if that alarm goes off one more time, I'm going to destroy this building. Pick 29 to Baltimore, which I'm not too worried about as Kansas City because the plan I have for Kansas City at 30 would not be blocked by that. So Kansas City gives away pick 29, first round pick, number 29, a second round pick, a 3, a second rounder this year, a third rounder this year, and a 3 next year. So I get to keep 2 1s, but I moved a great deal.
Now, Baltimore is stocking up on middle round picks. What happened to Baltimore this year? They got injured and they fell out of the playoffs. What fixes that? More depth. Yeah. Depth.
Baltimore struggled with depth this year. They were still competitive even after all of their injuries. They're a good team.
Yes.
But they need capital. They are a capital-hungry team. They need capital and wideouts. But the wideout they need just went at 13. Olave doesn't fit them at 13.
They have Hollywood Brown.
Hollywood Brown and Rashad Bateman. I think they're okay there. I think the pick here at 14 for Kansas City, however, could be Chris Olave.
And it is.
I know it's your pick, but I think we had already said we were going to make that pick for them.
All right. Philadelphia is on the clock.
Yeah, so Philly's pissed. Philly's not happy at all there because Philly wanted to go Olave. But the alarm is going off again.
Yeah.
It's not even a fire alarm. It's just testing an intercom. It's so dumb. Anyway, if it were a fire alarm, we probably wouldn't be recording, but it's not. No, I'm lying. We would totally be recording. Commitment.
Las Vegas is on fire with the NFL draft.
So Philadelphia's got a couple of tough decisions to make here. Now, I have a gut feeling when I know pick 15 is going to be. And it's the pick I would make if I were Philadelphia.
Can I type it out for you?
Go ahead. If you think no, it is not the pick.
Wow, okay.
It is not the pick. Although for what it's worth, it should be. I don't think that's the pick they're going to make.
But this is you. This is you.
No, I know.
I have to say that multiple times.
Screw it. Put it back. Put it back. Put it back. Put it back. The Philadelphia Eagles.
I was going to take him at 16 if you didn't take him.
I know. Because I looked at the teams after me. The Philadelphia Eagles select Kyle Hamilton. They have to. They don't have a choice. Arguably one of the top 5 players in this draft. Yes, his testing was questionable, but arguably one of the best players in this draft at a position of need for Philly. fell to 15. I have to do it. The Eagles have a million positions of need. There is no wrong answer here. The only wrong answer is quarterback. I truly believe that this year for Philly. So they take Hamilton. They do not field calls for this pick. If Hamilton's there, they don't even answer the phone. They take the phone and throw it in the river. Pick 16 is New Orleans, and Philly pissed them off.
They just lost Marcus Williams. New Orleans would have sprinted for Kyle Hamilton. Now,
they traded with Philly. They knew this was a possibility.
You know the NFC a lot better than me. I see a player who's currently falling. So I have a question for you.
Yes.
How good of a tackle is James Hurst?
James Hurst.
Yeah, left tackle for the Saints. The New Orleans Saints.
They lost to Ron Armstead. That's your answer.
The New Orleans Saints. Ron Armstead. Ryan Ramczyk is great, but he's a right tackle.
He is.
They need a left tackle. Charles Cross has not been picked yet, and he should have been.
No, he hasn't, and he's there.
Charles Cross.
Take him. You know what's funny? The Cross pick is there's a couple of picks you made that are why he's here.
Yeah.
Like there are a couple. Like I can put it 3 picks in a row that you made, and it's why he's here.
Yeah.
It's Atlanta, the Jets, and the Vikings are why he's here. That's so funny.
Wide receivers are getting expensive.
They are.
So why don't you get a good one for cheap?
Absolutely.
So Washington's on the clock.
Yeah, so Washington's job doesn't get any easier here.
It doesn't, but they got capital. That's all that matters.
But here's the one thing they're unhappy about. Charles Cross just left the pool because they might have taken him. So the answer here.
I know who I would pick.
Yeah, I'm sure you do. If I'm Washington, which I am, let me double check real quick.
While you're checking, I'll say who I would pick. I would pick Jermaine Johnson out of Florida State.
Okay.
An edge rusher.
They've got a million legs of depth there, though.
But they're also all unhappy.
All of a sudden, my internet does not want to work properly, so I can't look at the chart. Now I have it. Okay. There's one position I want to check. Just one.
Oh, why did I think Washington was Minnesota in my brain for some reason? That's crazy. That was stupid. Washington, you're not Minnesota. You're a lot worse. So while
Washington, I have a okay.
You have it? All right, while you think. New Orleans has just picked Charles Cross. Philly, Kyle Hamilton. Kansas City made a blockbuster trade to move up and replace Tyreek Hill with Chris Olave. Washington sees this, and who do they pick, John?
Yeah, I'm gonna make your pick. I am. I'm gonna take Jermaine. Here's my problem. If I'm Washington, I actually have a coin flip.
Mm-hmm.
It's Johnson or it's a player that I'm very high on, Tyler Linderbaum. Mm-hmm. They don't have a true starting center. I looked at their center pool, and it's not that impressive. My gut still said to do Linderbaum, but I do look at their D-end issue, and they've got a couple players that need to get paid, and neither have.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how much money Montez Sweat's going to cost. That's what I'm looking at. So I'll go with Johnson. I think that does make sense. That was a theory that I did not consider.
Philly is
now I go back to Philly.
Yeah.
Easiest pick of the night. I'm gonna give you 2 minutes to figure out who I'm gonna pick.
Okay, but don't give me dead air. You got to talk through.
I'll talk.
Okay, you talk. I'll
go ahead. Think about it. Who's your short list?
Well, let's see. We all know how much I love Treylon Burks.
Right.
George Karlaftis is a great player.
Sure.
Linderbaum is one of your favorite players ever in this.
He is. I do like him. I do like him.
Malik Willis, is he available? That's funny.
Yeah, he is.
I know who I'm picking next.
You will have to pick him next.
Yeah.
Unless Pittsburgh wants to call me.
What pick is Pittsburgh?
20. They'd have to jump New Orleans.
I'm starting to feel like Pittsburgh might actually just have Desmond Ridder that high.
I don't know. I really don't know. You haven't said my guy yet. You've said another guy I didn't consider, and I should have.
I don't like the linebackers as much as you, but they are standing right there.
That's one of them. I'm going to select Devin Lloyd.
You're going to select Devin Lloyd.
I'm going to have. What?
I think I would rather have selected Nakobe Dean.
Shut up. Now all of a sudden, Dean.
There's something about it. Just feels. I don't know. I want to root for Nakobe Dean.
I do. I love Nakobe Dean. I love Nakobe Dean, but I do have Lloyd slightly above him. And again, the Eagles have such a glaring need there.
I think the BYU tape has ruined Devin Lloyd for me. I think that actually
watch all the other tape.
I know
we watched plenty of his tape, and the one thing you can't get past is him.
Yeah,
I'll tell you. Listen, I thought about Linderbaum. I thought about another wideout. Honestly, this would have been wideout number 5. Burks would have been a natural pick. I hate that alarm. Burks would have been a natural fit. Who else? I could have gone Karlaftis. I could have gone Willis, theoretically. But no, I'm not going to do that to this team right now. If I'm Philly, I'm not doing that. Could have gone Jahan Dotson. I don't think that makes sense at 18. And I could have gone another direction that I'm not going to say because I want to make sure one of my guys picks him. So, yeah, that's how that goes. You are on the clock at pick number.
No, you're on the clock, actually.
Oh, am I on the clock?
Oh, no, I picked for New Orleans. Yeah, that's right. I get to pick back to back.
Right. Yes, you do.
All right. I'm New Orleans. I'm looking at, I knew I had to go get Charles Cross. I knew it had to be done. Now I'm looking at my board. I'm talking to my scouts, and I'm seriously considering Malik Willis. Right. I don't think Malik Willis will be here in the real draft. I really do not.
No.
I'm looking at the fact that Dennis Allen's my head coach.
Yep. First year.
Yeah. New Orleans did not have an offensive coordinator, basically. It was Sean Payton.
Sure.
And I'm wondering whether or not I have the tools to develop Willis. I got to be honest with you. I don't think I do. But if I were also the Saints, how do I not take Malik Willis here?
I agree.
Yeah. So Willis interviewed phenomenally.
He did. Interviewed well, tested well, threw well. Pro day was great. Everything was good.
Do I want to hitch my GM career on Willis? I might have no choice.
You may.
I am going to select Malik Willis, even though I am not sold on it.
Fair enough.
But I feel like I have been left with no choice.
New Orleans is in a tough spot here. I agree. New Orleans is in a very interesting spot.
I'm happy I have the extra first-round pick to fix a gigantic hole. And I'm happy I already did it.
Listen, the Saints answered in a way that in a pretty solid way in a year in which they have a lot of uncertainty. Charles Cross and Malik Willis is a great answer. Losing Marcus Williams stings. Losing, you're now a year and a half, 2 years removed from Drew Brees. That sucks. Taysom Hill, you finally admitted, is not a quarterback. Mm-hmm. Okay, about a year too late. You brought Jameis back, so you at least have a bridge. But I think it's the right move. I think the right move is to go Willis. Now I'm going to put you, as Pittsburgh, a much more interesting option here on the clock. You have 2 minutes with Pittsburgh. What are you thinking here? Because Willis just went 19.
I'm also thinking I don't have a choice.
Okay.
It's obvious that the Steelers are looking at quarterbacks.
Yes, it is.
And to me, at least, it looks like the Steelers are really interested in 2 of them. And one of them just went.
Yeah.
and the other one is Desmond Ridder. The more tape I look at Desmond Ridder, the more I'm terrified, but also the fit's kind of there, isn't it? The wideout situation's fixed. The offensive line isn't that great, but at least Ridder can run around a little bit and you can pick up offensive linemen in the later rounds. Pittsburgh didn't have to move picks to get to this point. The defense is there. And you have Mike Tomlin and Brian Flores. You have defensive minds there.
You have 45 seconds.
I'm going to pick Desmond Ridder.
Okay.
Because this team isn't built to compete later, more like it's built to compete now. It's just missing a focal point. And Mike Tomlin hasn't gone below 500, and he had the literal corpse of Ben Roethlisberger playing for 2 years.
Yes.
Desmond Ridder, at worst, won't be able to match
Can't
that.
be worse than that.
AFC's extremely competitive. You're going to need a quarterback to do it. Ridder is very high boom or bust, but if you hit on Ridder, the Steelers move on from Roethlisberger quickly and easily.
Pretty seamlessly.
Yeah. I'm going to go Desmond Ridder.
Can I tell you, that's not the pick I would have made. I don't disagree with your pick, but it's not.
What would you have picked?
I would have made a player that I've been mocking to Pittsburgh for weeks.
Oh, Trevor Penning?
Penning. Yeah, I would have put Penning here. That said, I'm not putting Penning at 21. I think I know who my 21 is going to be.
Okay.
I think I'm going to make my 21 Trent McDuffie.
New England's going to go for Trent McDuffie.
I'm thinking McDuffie. I listen, they don't have a corner. They lost J.C. Jackson. I know Jalen Mills isn't any good. and I know that they brought in Malcolm Butler, who I'm sure is not thrilled about having to go back there. I don't know. Name another corner they have. I don't think they have any. They traded away Gilmore. They've now lost Jackson. Enjoy the comp pick next year.
Yeah, I love how Malcolm Butler had to say, no, I'm very happy to be here. I'm very appreciative of the opportunity.
Yeah. No, it was not for those that don't remember, it wasn't the cleanest separation when Butler left.
No, it was not.
But, it happens. Teams and players have disagreements. It happens. These are all grown men. Issues happen. So, yeah, I got to give him McDuffie. I don't really have much of a choice. They need a corner. They need a corner in a desperately bad way. Wow, you made a really quick pick. McDuffie's a good player, and he'll be in this first round. The Patriots need a corner in the worst way.
Green Bay's on the clock. Why are they here? Well, they traded Devontae Adams, and they lost Martez Valdez-Scantling in free agency. You see where I'm going with this, John?
Going receiver.
Now, there are 2 wide receivers I would consider with this pick. The first one is a player that I love. Is Treylon Burks from Arkansas. The second one, this might be surprising, is Christian Watson from North Dakota State. And it's the traits thing, right?
Can I throw in a third name that's been flying up boards, by the way?
George Pickens?
George Pickens.
Yeah.
I like Dotson here too, by the way, but it's because they're all good, but they all do things differently.
Exactly. I'm going to go with Treylon Burks just because I have Burks right above all the rest. And I love the player. I think he'll be a great fit. And I think you got to make Aaron Rodgers happy at this point.
Yeah, you can't imagine. I can't imagine he's very happy being able to throw.
Also, the NFC is weak.
It's open.
Yeah.
It is open for business. It is so open for business. It's not even funny.
So Arizona needs a wide receiver, but Treylon Burks just won.
Arizona needs a lot of things. And I know what I want to give them.
Okay.
I want to give them Kenyon Green.
You want to give them Kenyon Green.
They need an O-lineman.
This is a favorite of ours, actually, in just the regular mock.
I like Kenyon Green a lot, and I like him in this range.
Boston College, right?
Texas A&M for him.
The other one.
Texas A&M. Yes, the other Zion Johnson, who I am not putting here. I don't like Zion as much, so I'm giving them Kenyon Green. I like Green a lot. He's very interesting. He's apparently, according to Peter Schrager, he's interviewed very well. So I need to give a guy with some gas and some attitude to an O line that otherwise is not just hasn't found itself at all. And I've got a quarterback that I have to keep happy now because apparently Kyler Murray. We'll talk about this more in the summer, but apparently Kyler Murray is just not happy. We'll talk about it more in the summer unless Kyler Murray gets traded on the day. Which, if you remember last year, Aaron Rodgers is going to be traded on the day, and look at that, nothing happened. So
Adam Schefter still has a job.
No, please. Anyway, to Dallas with you.
Give me a rundown of the picks while I look at the Dallas Cowboys depth chart because I have an idea.
I have an idea for you as well, and I'm not thrilled with it. So you've now seen 4 total quarterbacks off the board. You've seen Kenny Pickett, you've seen Matt Corral, you've seen Malik Willis, and you've seen Desmond Ridder. You're noticing a pattern. We selected them similar to how we ranked them. Similarly to how we ranked them. Kenny Pickett to Carolina is the funny one still for me because it reeks of we need you to play now. Mm-hmm. And I think he is the most ready at that spot. The only pick so far that I'm looking at, I'm like, I wish I had it back was Sauce Gardner at 3. But at the same time, I'm like, I value Sauce so high that it doesn't matter to me. I'm fine with it. The only problem is if I'm Houston, do I really want to go secondary twice? Because if I'm picking 13th for Houston and Hamilton's still there, I'd almost rather do that than Sauce at 3. But I went Drake London. So if I'm Houston and I'm walking away with Sauce and London, that's pretty tasty. And the only pick so far I'm just like, meh, is Washington going Jermaine Johnson. That's the only one I'm thinking meh, because it doesn't add much to you today. But so far, so good. Your clock is at a minute. You've got 50 seconds left.
All right, the Dallas Cowboys. I have multiple directions I want to go here, right?
Okay.
They just lost an offensive tackle, so I can think about Trevor Penning. They just lost an edge rusher they tried to resign, but it didn't happen. He's a Denver Bronco now. So do I go Karlaftis? And there's also the fact that Devontae Wyatt is on the board. Now, if you've been paying attention, he has multiple domestic violence issues that have come up and have red flagged him. I don't think Dallas would care about that whatsoever. At all. So I'm already crossing Trevor Penning out. I'm gonna aim for the Tulsa kid Tyler Smith in the second round or someone else of similar caliber. Mm-hmm. And I'm deciding between Karlaftis and Devontae Wyatt. And
interesting.
I'm going to go with George Karlaftis.
Okay, George Karlaftis to Dallas. Interesting pick. Very interesting pick. The loss of Randy Gregory obviously looms large on this pick.
And in a year where the NFC's gotten weaker, isn't it kind of weird how much worse Dallas has been getting compared to the rest of the NFC?
I know, isn't it great?
Yeah, that. You lost Randy Gregory.
Yeah.
Your linebackers are kind of falling apart.
Yeah.
Besides Micah Parsons. You have a corner who was in a car after during a shooting.
Yeah, did you guys hear that?
We forgot about that.
I didn't forget. I just didn't want to get there. But did you guys hear about that? There's a guy that was a second round pick for the Cowboys last year. Kelvin Joseph.
Yeah.
Secondary player. He's in the car, and the car was involved in a drive-by murder of somebody. That's not good.
Now
that's not where you want to be.
You took Trent McDuffie, so I wasn't going to go corner anymore.
Right.
I feel like I can replace Kelvin Joseph in the second round.
Now you tried to before by picking him in the second round.
Yeah.
Same value, just later.
So would you have gone for somebody else?
Yeah.
Who would you have gone for?
I would have gone for Linderbaum.
You would have gone for Linderbaum?
Yeah, I would have gone for Linderbaum.
Okay.
Easy money there. I would have gone for Linderbaum because Connor Williams stunk. So I need something in the interior. I just don't have anything there. Mm-hmm. The Cowboys, remember a few years back when it was like, oh my God, the Cowboys O-line's unbelievable? Well, years have passed. And I feel like people don't understand that the Cowboys depth chart. Are you looking at the depth chart still?
Yes.
Look at the O-line.
It's not that good.
It's not good anymore. It's just not. Like, yeah, okay. Tyron Smith, he's gotten old. Connor McGovern, meh. Tyler Biadasz, he's an okay center, but he was a 4th-round pick. Zach Martin at guard is still incredible. And then right tackle. Yeah, listen, you could do a right tackle. You could go Penning. You could go Penning and bump him to right side. But I just don't. You need to start recalling or recognizing that this O-line is not what it used to be. Lyle Collins is gone. Connor Williams didn't play that well. Travis Frederick retired because he had a medical issue. And Tyron Smith's gotten old. Mm-hmm. Outside of Zach Martin, this is no longer an elite O-line, period. There is one elite player on the O-line and then nothing, and then like a bunch of like okay. And by the way, I like Tyler Biadasz. I actually do like Tyler Biadasz. It doesn't matter though, because he's not great enough to be where he would need to be. So there's that situation. I don't know. If I'm Dallas, I'm really weighing some options here. They need O-line help.
Buffalo's on the board.
Buffalo's got a couple of choices here. Now, I'm going to start my timer. Buffalo has a few choices. Choice number one is to just get out of here.
Mm-hmm.
But because I view Buffalo as the best team in the NFL right now. But in the event that they're not, and if I'm Buffalo, I think I'm going to stay here unless I get a phone call. I'm not actively looking for anything. If I get a phone call, I get a phone call. But I'm going to – how is that alarm going off again? So I might be looking at an O-lineman, maybe. I could look running back, but it might be early.
You want to know who I would go? I don't think you're going to go this, but you want to know who I would go? I would go Ojabo. You don't need him to be excellent.
I understand.
Yeah.
I am not going to go Ojabo.
Yeah.
I am not going to go Ojabo.
I figured that's why I told you.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to go Ojabo. Listen, I could go corner. I could go Andrew Booth here and give myself a good CB2 on the other side of Javius White.
Yeah, and you know how much I love Andrew Booth, but there are some injury concerns.
There's some flags there. There are some flags there. I like Booth. I do like the player. The problem is I'm looking at my starting lineup, and what do I need? I need a left guard. I need a running back. Is there a left guard to take? I mean,
you take Zion Johnson. If you have so little holes, why don't you just fill the hole with a solid player and move on?
Because I think I could fill another hole with a better player.
Okay.
I'm going to take Zion.
You're going to take Zion Johnson.
But I'm not thrilled with it. Because if I'm the Bills, I'm going to say here that I've succumbed to a little bit of peer pressure. The Buffalo Bills just succumbed to a little bit of peer pressure. And I will explain that later because you are still allowing me to pick for Kansas City. Mm-hmm. I will let you – you're going to pick for Baltimore, and I'm going to pick for Kansas City. 29 and 30. Because there's every time.
You don't have to keep that on.
No, I know. I'm just making sure we stay honest. We're actually doing great on time, too. So Tennessee.
I think Tennessee is in a really weird spot right now.
I know the exact player I would pick here if I were picking for Tennessee. I'm not going to say it because you may.
I'm looking at the board. I'm looking at the rest of the AFC. I'm looking at the fact that Tennessee's offense ran out of gas. And I got to be honest, the Julio Jones experiment failed. Do I pick a wide receiver here?
Could.
The defense doesn't really need a defensive end. We just paid one, Harold Landry.
Right.
It could use a linebacker, but if you've listened to our episodes, you know how much I hate the linebackers in this draft.
Yeah. Let's not forget the Titans did address wide receiver in a way by trading for Robert Woods.
I did forget about that.
They did that.
But he's injured.
He is. He'll be back, but he is.
Do I look for a playmaker on defense?
You could.
I might have to. And select Nakobe Dean.
Okay.
I'm not in love with it. If they didn't make the Robert Woods trade, I would hammer for Christian Watson here.
Interesting.
Because listen, AJ Brown's it's not up and you're gonna make that contract. You're gonna sign AJ Brown to a long-term contract. But it's kind of up in the air. I don't love picking a corner right now. Like if Andrew Booth didn't have an injury history that I'm a little bit worried about,
right?
I would take him here. I don't like this safety draft that much, but it's happening. Like a Daxton Hill or a Petrie who's rising out of the second round, guys.
I'm not buying it. I will not buy it.
I'm not interested in the running backs. I am going to check one thing, though. I am going to check because memory serves me that the Tennessee Titans have selected a defensive tackle already, Jeffrey Simmons. But he hasn't really made many moves. He's
not bad.
Not bad. But can you improve on it? Probably. So I am interested in Devontae Wyatt.
You've got 20 seconds.
Do I get any phone calls during this?
I'll make one.
Okay, make your phone call.
I'm Baltimore. Baltimore's at 29.
All right, make me an offer.
Let me come up there. I'll give you a 3.
You'll give me a 3.
Yep.
I gotta be honest with you. Every single player I'm interested with Tennessee, I think will be there.
I'll give you a 3. I'm coming up.
Okay.
I want Penning.
You want Trevor Penning?
I want Penning. The fact that Penning is here at 26
let me check Tennessee's. I didn't think about Penning. Let me check Tennessee's offensive line issues.
Okay.
I want to just check that really quickly.
They could also take him. Lawan is still fine, but they need to get better.
And that entire team is basically on
a run.
Yeah.
Yeah. They have Dylan Radins on the right, who is fine. He's a first year dude, second year going into the second year. Taylor Lewan's not getting much younger.
So would you say they're happy with their offensive line?
I wouldn't be. If I'm Tennessee. Listen, here's my thing. If Tennessee stays here and makes the pick, if it were me, I'd pick Penning. If Baltimore trades up and takes the pick, if it were me, I'd pick Penning. I like Penning. I don't know why he's here. I'm sad about it. And I stop his fall. It could go either way. Tennessee could move out of here, get the extra 3, and make a pick that they like. You liked other players for Tennessee. Tennessee does not have a perfect pick here. If they can still get a great player that they need and want at 29, you move down and net a 3. Why not?
Tennessee weirdly does not have a team I like at all.
No, they do not. I just looked at their depth chart too, and I'm not a fan. You know what I'm really not a fan of?
What?
Their quarterback position. That's the biggest problem.
I mean, they could use a tight end. They can use offensive line.
They just signed Hooper.
Yeah, but everyone signs Hooper.
Oh, I know. Everybody signs Hooper.
Danico Autry's fine, but you can improve there. But
they have Zach Cunningham at linebacker. The only thing I'm leaning is to not go Dean, but that's kind of it. I also don't love what Tennessee has done. They are very Derrick Henry dependent.
There's so much Tennessee needs to do. I actually would like to have the mid-round capital.
Get the extra mid-round pick. Get out of there. Okay,
so I'm
Baltimore.
Third.
Baltimore comes up and comes get the mauling O-lineman Trevor Penning, who I loved in Pittsburgh, but he gets to stay in that division. And you'll still pick for Tennessee at 29.
Okay.
Because I need to pick at 30 for the lulz.
What was the school for Penning again?
Northern Iowa.
I just remember purple.
Yeah, it's correct. Northern Iowa.
Tampa Bay is on the board. They've seen 2 guards go. But you know who's still here, John? I think
Who?
Make this pick. Linderbaum.
Uh-huh.
Is that the pick you're making? No, it's not. Okay, what are you doing?
No, John? I'm going to wait. Give me a minute. Because if I'm Tampa, I'm actually making calls. But, again, if I'm Tampa, I'm making calls. There's no way Tampa makes any calls here. Because Tom Brady is making this pick.
Mm-hmm.
I have no control over this pick.
Okay.
None. I am not Tom Brady, I don't get to choose it. My O-line lost 2 people, damn it. Unfortunately for Tyler Linderbaum, none of them are the center.
Yes, but Linderbaum, he can play guard.
He can play guard. I like him at center. So I'm thinking no.
Okay.
Unfortunately. I'm thinking no. Instead, I'm looking at God, they don't have a whole lot of weaknesses, do they?
No, they do not.
I'm thinking.
How much time do you have left?
I got 45 seconds.
All right, while you think.
And I've got no natural fit.
While you think. Dallas went Karlaftis, Buffalo, Zion Johnson. They're not in love with it, but they're going to do it. Baltimore moved up with some of the capital they gained from the Kansas City trade to get Trevor Penning.
Screw it. Give me Linderbaum. I don't have a better pick.
And Tom Brady selects Tyler Linderbaum.
Yeah, it would be completely up to Brady. This could be, by the way, you know who this easily could be?
Who?
Christian Watson. Like, why not?
They don't need another
No,
one.
I know they don't need it, but it's Brady. Like, why not? Like,
What about a running back?
No. Well, they lost Rojo, but who gives a crap? Like, that's addition by subtraction. I mean, you want to go running back? Go ahead. But I mean,
this is you. This is
no,
you.
I know. I would not.
Running back.
Yeah, no, I would not. I've got Leonard Fournette as my primary bell cow. He's clearly able to do that. And I've got Gio Bernard as his backup to take on third down duties. That's easy. I'm not suffering because I lost Rojo.
Now Green Bay's on the clock.
Where did Ronald Jones go? Kansas City?
I think so, actually.
Keep forgetting where he went. Yeah,
Clyde Edwards-Helaire did not work out.
No, he didn't. But
we
neither
really liked the fit too.
Neither did Ronald Jones either. So who gives a crap?
So Green Bay's on the board. If I was Green Bay, let me be perfectly honest. This is not happening.
He's gonna take a quarterback. No, I'm kidding.
This is not happening.
If you take Carson Strong, I laugh.
This is.
I start screaming, laughing.
This is not happening in the real draft. Let me be very clear. This is
Make
not
the pick.
Happen. I'm picking Christian Watson.
You gonna double up?
I'm doubling up. If I am Green Bay, I realize my defense is fine,
right.
Especially in the NFC. It played well in the playoffs. And I got to pay Jair Alexander soon.
Now, Peter Schrager made an interesting pick for them. He picked Wyatt here.
I was only thinking of Devontae Wyatt.
Other than receiver.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I like Wyatt fitting in Green Bay. And if it were me picking for Green Bay, I think I would have done that.
Yeah.
But Watson makes sense too.
Well, let's look at who I need to compete with in the NFC.
Sure.
Tampa Bay. They have more than a rookie wide receiver. The Rams. They have a lot more than a rookie wide receiver.
Oh, yeah.
My own division has Justin Jefferson and Adam Thielen. I mean, I like Olave. I like Treylon Burks. I think Treylon Burks will work out. Am I really going to risk the rest of Aaron Rodgers' career on me thinking Treylon Burks is going to work out?
Right.
When I can Christian Watson has traits. He has tools. He can also work out. I'm doubling up. I don't think this is happening at all in real life. But I have, 2-3 more years at Aaron Rodgers? My window is very small. Who cares about the future? It's all about the right now.
Real quick, because you have not made this change. Can I change the Tampa pick?
Sure, if you really want to.
I do.
All right. A fax has come out. Tampa Bay.
Yeah, Elvis Dumerville's contract didn't get through on time.
Do you want to take Wyatt?
You know what? No, never mind. Let's keep it as is.
All right.
Because my pick wouldn't make sense here because of the timeline of what Tampa Bay is on. They're on a year to year. So they need every pick they make is a now player.
All right, Tennessee. I'm going to pick for Tennessee.
Yes,
I'm going to pick Nakobe Dean.
Okay.
I'm going to stop that fall. I'm going to take a linebacker because Zach Cunningham is, he's present.
He's present.
Yeah. So I'm going to take Nakobe Dean. I'm going to end that fall and I'm going to get a playmaker. And listen, that defense needs playmakers.
Sure.
Kansas City is on the clock. John is making this pick.
Kenneth Walker.
Really? This is what you're doing. We're going to put Kenneth Walker in the first round in what we would do.
Listen, that team so desperately needs a running back. And Walker's my one.
He's both of our ones.
It's that right.
It really isn't close how far ahead.
It's that simple. I listen, Breece Hall is a fine player. And I also value Breece Hall very highly. Kansas City, you have so many picks, but this will be your last opportunity to take a running back between those two running backs. This is your last chance to do it. It's here, or you will not be able to do it again without another trade. I don't think they're both getting to you again.
I also don't think Kansas City is going to do this after the whole climate area.
No. But also, by adding Ronald Jones, you are clearly sending out a cry for help. You need a running back. Now you need one more. You added Ronald Jones. You now need two of them. Walker is my one. He's both of our ones. It's why I'm putting Walker here and not Breece Hall. I am mostly symbolically saying I need a running back. Kansas City's a good team everywhere, but I need a running back.
Cincinnati is on the clock.
Now, is this my selection?
This is your selection.
Don't get cute because it's mine.
You really doing that?
So probably not. Okay. But here's the thing. Here's the thing with that pick. We're now arguing over David Ajabo.
Yeah.
Here's the thing with that pick. Cincinnati, how is it that they've tested this alarm the entire episode?
I don't know.
How is that even possible? How audible is it?
I can hear it.
That's a shame. That's really not fun. Oh, well. Anyway, we are doing this in such a guerrilla style, it's not even funny. Sam Hubbard and Trey Hendrickson are the primary pass rushers in Cincinnati.
And they're both developing well.
And they're not going anywhere. Hendrickson got paid a boatload of cash. Hubbard's a draft pick that's hitting.
And they just re-signed a defensive tackle. So Devontae Wyatt doesn't even make sense here.
Right. There isn't a fit there right now for Cincinnati. The funny thing with Cincinnati is if I'm Cincinnati, I might think about a tight end.
Yeah.
I could think about a tight end. I could think about another guard.
You're probably not going to get Trey McBride in the second
You won't
round.
get McBride later. You could do McBride here. Linebackers are a potential pick. Corners are a potential
Walker pick. For linebacker.
Yeah. I'm going to just throw McBride in there because I know that they need a tight end and they're not going to have a shot at him.
And Cincinnati got here based off of what? Their defense playing better than expected, but also Jamar Chase and all the weapons around Joe Burrow.
Now, Peter Schrager did the standard thing of mocking an offensive tackle to Cincinnati for the umpteenth time. That's fine. But I'm looking at Cincinnati's offensive line right now, and Jonah Williams, they don't want to unseat him. Right tackle Lyle Collins, they paid him to come in there. Alex Kappa and Ted Karras both came in to play center and right guard. What?
They might be done.
All you've got left really to fill is a left guard who was your second round pick last year. You might be done. I understand it's, you got to protect the man. You got to protect the boy.
Protect the boy.
By the way, Jake Browning is their third quarterback. I didn't know that.
Good for him.
That's funny, though.
Who's their second?
Brandon Allen.
Come on, Jake. Take that second.
You can do it, Jake.
You can do it, Jake.
You can do it, Jake. We believe in you. You can do it, Jake. Did you see who just re-signed with Buffalo, by the way?
No.
Matt Barkley, again.
Hey!
How great. How is he still in the league? Matt Barkley has outlasted Andrew Luck and Robert Griffin III.
That's absolutely tragic.
Matt Barkley, for those that don't remember, Matt Barkley was supposed to come out with them and would have been pick number 2 in between the two of them. And then he stayed back to compete with USC's preseason #1 overall ranking. And they floundered like
Ruined
crazy.
his draft stock.
They floundered. They ruined his draft stock. He plummeted to the 4th round. Eagles took him. He stunk. And now he's still in the league. How insane.
At Barkley.
Remember, Blake Cashman.
Someone has to replace Mitchell Trubisky.
That's unbelievable. So anyway, yeah, that's the funny part.
Also, Mitchell Trubisky in our draft went to Pittsburgh, right? He goes to Pittsburgh, and now they draft.
Take Ritter. Yeah, take Ritter instead. It's like, never mind.
Hey, are the Giants still interested? Daniel Jones still?
It's funny you mentioned that.
So Cincinnati, you're going to go with who?
Cincinnati McBride.
Trey McBride, the first tight end, comes off the board.
Okay. Now I have a question. I know you want to take Ajabo at 32.
Yeah.
I'm not going to stop you from taking Ajabo at 32.
You have someone who can come up for a quarterback?
My problem is this. Detroit took Trayvon Walker at 6.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to do edge again? Because if I'm a team that wants a quarterback,
you don't have any.
I mean, true. True.
You don't. Literally, there's nothing on that defense.
You know what's funny? If Ojabo was healthy, you might have picked him at 6. Like, that's the insane part.
Yeah.
That's the insane part.
What school did McBride go to?
Colorado.
Okay.
The Colorado State? Might be Colorado State.
I'll check it. All right, so find a team to call up. If you got a team that wants to call up for,
It is Colorado State.
okay, you got to find me a team and make me an offer, because I can pick Ojabo in the 2nd round, honestly. But that 50 option is going to be nice for a player who's recovering from such an injury.
No, I agree entirely. I agree. I mean, do I need to get Carson Strong on a 5th-year option? Do I need to get Sam Howell on a 5th-year option? I am hotter
than Sam Howell.
I don't like either guy in the 1st round. No, I'm not doing it. No,
God, I hope you guys listened to our previous quarterback episode. Otherwise, that joke did not land.
Yeah, that joke does not land unless you actually heard the last episode. Yeah. That's true. Yeah, I am going to keep the phone on the hook. Mm-hmm. I'm going to leave it there, and I'm going to let Detroit pick at 32 because I do not value those 2 players in the 1st round.
Now, listen, Detroit on edge rusher has Charles Harris and Romeo Okwara.
Good. Overpaid a lot of money.
Yeah. I probably wouldn't have paid him that much money.
No.
So maybe that's why you don't.
You're a new GM. That happened before you got here.
Exactly. I don't have to worry about that. I'm going to trade Okwara next year.
Trade him now. No.
When Ojabo is fully healthy. The thing is, Ojabo and God, Ojabo's the only one that matters. And Trayvon Walker. You get them. You've set your edge for the next 5 years, guaranteed. Like, and these are both top 15 quality players.
Right.
It's just Ojabo's too good to pass up right here.
I agree.
And I'm gonna pick David Ojabo. Is it gonna happen? Probably not.
No. Pick 32 is almost definitely this year going to be a quarterback.
All right.
We don't care.
That was a what we would do live mock draft.
That is our super fun time.
Yeah.
However, next week is an episode that will take about 5 days at least to make.
Woo!
It is going to be not that it'll be an hour and a half, same usual timing, because we're not doing that one live. We are coming with the draft on that. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, next week, if we bring any news, it means somebody was either fired or traded in a blockbuster way or some insane free agent signing or some crazy suspension. There has to be some blue chip news that happens next week to where the episode is anything other than if that alarm goes off one more time. I swear to God.
It'll be really funny if our editor is able to like get rid of the alarm.
It would be.
I don't know if that's possible.
Like, it would be great, Chris. Yeah. Do your thing. Do everything you can. So I am very excited for next week's episode. This episode should be to you guys by the end of this week to some degree. It should be out by the end of this week. The next episode will be the last one before the draft.
Exactly.
That episode will launch the Wednesday prior to the draft. So if we get anything crazy wrong leading up to the draft, it just means that headlines changed.
Yep.
That's the nature of it. We don't have sources inside teams. We don't have this. We don't have that. We're going off of all of what we've heard and what we believe and the trends we know of these teams. For example, there's no way in hell Washington is selecting a player they actually need. They never have. They never have. So
also, Jacksonville's totally doing Trayvon Walker.
Oh, I really hope they don't, but it very well may happen.
I hope they do. Actually, I want to see it happen.
I want to see Detroit get better faster.
So I want to see Detroit get Aiden Hutchinson. Let's just stop right here. I want to see Detroit get Aiden Hutchinson.
This would be an unbelievable draft.
Yeah,
in that respect.
Aiden Hutchinson and at pick 32, Ojaba.
Yeah, Trayvon Walker at 1.
Transport Michigan's defensive line into Detroit.
Yeah, this is a strange year. So we will be back next week with the last episode prior to the draft. Then after that, we will bring you the reaction to the draft itself, to the first round, and then we'll bring you a draft recap the following week. And from there, we don't know what our schedule is, but we'll put it together. So guys, we're going to enter the cave now and create the perfect mock draft. So you don't have to check any others. Just our mock draft will be right.
And we're going to get 6 right.
And we're going to get probably 6 right.
Yeah.
We may even, we'll write it down. We could probably post a list of it on the website, right? Might as well, just to have it out there. Maybe not a whole lot of detail with it, but, just put it out there. The podcast is predominantly our focus. So that is our show. We'll be back next week. You should have that episode. You should have this episode around Friday, and we'll see you soon. We'll be ready. Anything else?
No. Goodbye.
It's time. Bye-bye.